Okay, welcome back. So, what are we going to do today? Today, let's look at our project. We're going to add a new script. And we're gonna start making it so make it a mono behavior script and scorer don't make it complete. Okay, good. If you screw up the name and you finalize it, you got to change it again. Um, it can be fixed, but it's a pain in the butt, and it's easier just to delete the thing and start a new one. Okay, so we make a new script. We call it scorer, and right now we're only going to work with Munyon, and later um, we can follow suit with. What we're going to do is we're going to put the responsibility of scoring points onto the player. So when the player bumps into something, the player scores the points. So it doesn't make sense like for a wall over here to be responsible for the player scoring points if the player bumps into the wall. The wall is just there being a wall. It's not there to do anything. If the player hits the wall, that's the player's fault. So whether that's a positive or a negative point, whatever, it's still the responsibility of the player to not hit the wall. In fact, it's even in the instructions that we wrote. Look, it says don't touch the walls. So the responsibility of the player. So it's on the player that we're going to put the scorer script. In fact, let's put that on each one because they will all operate the same way. Let's give Runyon and Flange scorer scripts as well. Let's also take a quick look and talk about in our game we hit the west wall, and let's play right now real quick and see. Okay, so you see how that change happened over here, and that was our code that we wrote. This is the game object that we brought in. We brought in this game object and this wall material, and through the code we basically said if we hit the wall, then change the color to orange. But this is what it's referencing. It's referencing this material. I'm sorry, mesh renderer. Mesh renderer is where it was at. Materials on the mesh renderer. And wall color. So there are all kinds of settings and stuff. So it's saying, I'm not sure exactly which one of these it's referencing directly, but this is the wall color and it changes. So that's on our object hit script, right? How do we read that? Let's read that real quick. Yeah, get component, mesh renderer. Anyway, there's like dot material, dot color, color equals orange, right? So, and that's that west wall. So here's the mesh renderer, and then material dot color equals orange. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Let's take another look at that. Mesh renderer, material, wall color. That's just the normal one that we assigned it. Oh, and that does reference this material down here directly. But that's the color that we assigned it. We named it wall color. But it's like whatever this happens to be, it's going to change to orange. like we should be able to, like wall color is an assigned value, and then it says there's an instance that happened down here. Under an instance, it was told to deviate from the norm, and where do we get that actual value? Not sure yet, but we could also probably type in like surface type and all of that and change all of these. Surface, oh, that base map. So it gave it that value of orange from that base map. And what I'm really trying to do is look for a specific pairing up of the code that matches up exactly here, but I'm not finding it. So I'm okay with that. You know, I want to find the dot material, dot color, dot, but that's what this is base map. So that's how we're linking all of our notions together. Let me check OBS over here. So, what's our new thing? We have our scorer script. So let me close the Unity window, open up VS Code, and we got a new script in here called scorer, and I know something is gonna happen here, and we're gonna, hopefully we don't lose that. So in the scorer script, we don't need all of this junk, because much like the other, it's going to be like an instance thing, right? We don't want to run a startup. We don't want to continually monitor the state of something, like with an update loop or a update method or a loop function. It's all state based, so it occurs on an instance. So let's do an on collision enter method, and let's make that a void on collision enter, and we're gonna write debug dot log. We're gonna write debug dot log. You bump head. Oops. I thought we hit that. I thought I hit this string. Okay. Into a thing this many times. And I'm pretty sure we're going to concatenate a value of something. So we're going to make, well, we're going to leave it as is for a minute. And, okay. We got that all written. We're going to put that in here. See, object hit. Okay. And mover, that's just moving the player once again. So we're checking over all of our code, looking at our code, mesh render, which we can change that color later too. In fact, let's see if teal works. I want to see if teal works. Do we have teal? That would be so awesome. Let's try teal. Let's see if it throws an error. Okay, and then the score, we just want to, when the player bumps into, oh, that's what I wanted to check out, collision other. We need a collision statement in here. When the player bumps into something else, we're going to we need that collision other. So okay, let's save that and go back to bring up our Unity window, see if everything compiles in accordance with the prophecy, and open up the console, and we have our welcome to the game message. Send me some money. Thank you for sending me money. You guys are awesome. Okay, I've been bumped into something. Okay, been bumped into something. Okay, but now I bumped into that and it changed teal, and that said something hit me. And so these are the inanimate objects are the ones saying something hit me and changing the color, but it's the player saying I bumped the player's keeping score of how many times that it's hit something too. So that's kind of what we want. I like how this camera's kind of going wild. It's really kind of throwing me off a little bit, but it I think it's going to enhance the game. Right now we haven't seen anybody ever fly off the ground. There were a couple of times I thought it might, but it looks like our axes, like all of our stick points over here that we use to the freeze position, freeze rotation, it looks like those are all working really well. So that we put on the rigid body. And alright, so that's going great. We got that. So the next thing we're going to do is actually start incrementing how many times we're hitting that. So that'll be coming up in a future video.